Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Give me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. The first 15 people that give me a follow from this video, I'll give you a follow back. So give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_. And in today's show, we're going to talk about Sterling Shepard and how Joe Schoen and the Giants asked Sterling Shepard to take a pay cut. And we're also going to talk about the James Bradberry trade rumors that are happening and the conversations that are going down at the NFL Combine. Reports are coming out that the Giants have talked to people and they're only figuring out that James Bradberry has a trade value of a third-round pick. Bradberry has been linked to trade rumors throughout the NFL offseason due to his salary cap hit, which is $12.1 million. If they were to trade or cut him, that's how much they would save. And his contract becomes partially guaranteed on March 18th. So if the Giants, they're going to have to make a move on James Bradberry sooner rather than later. I mean, if you can save $12 million by releasing or trading James Bradberry with the way the Giants salary cap currently sits, which is at about -$6 million after they release Kyle Rudolph and Devontae Booker, that's something that Joe Schoen and the Giants front office is desperately going to think about. And I thought this tweet from Dan Duggan, who earlier tweeted this out today, who he's at the Combine, he said this. I think it's very important. Surveying sources in Indy, the consensus trade value for James Bradberry is a third-round pick, and Saquon Barkley is a fourth-round pick. I'm skeptical that the Giants will pull the trigger on a Saquon trade. I agree. I don't think they're going to trade Saquon because I don't think they're, cool with getting a fourth-round pick back. There was rumors that Joe Schoen wanted a first-round pick, but we're talking about James Bradberry. So I want to know, would you trade James Bradberry for a third-round pick? If the Raiders called and they were like, hey, we've got your old DC, he really likes James Bradberry, would you trade him to us for a third-round pick? If you would, go down in the comment section and type T for trade, or if not, go down and type P for pass. Giants fans, we have some big things going on here at Chat Sports and Giants Now. We're growing like crazy, and we're also going to be posting Giants content on the Rumble app. It's another video platform, and one thing you can do is you can talk the crap about me in the comments section on Rumble like you try to do on YouTube, but they block your comments. You can say whatever you want on Rumble. They're not going to censor what you got to say about me. So if you want more Giants content, go follow us, rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. We're going to be posting content almost daily on the Rumble app. So if you want more Giants content, go follow us, rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. If you're able to get a third-round pick in a trade for James Bradberry, that's a win-win situation for the New York Giants. You clear $12 million in cap space while adding a premium draft pick. Someone that you could select in the NFL draft in the third round could be a solid James Bradberry replacement, and they have big shoes to fill because when James Bradberry first came over from the Carolina Panthers back in the 2020 NFL season, he was one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. He gave up just 4 touchdowns, had 3 interceptions, 18 pass breakups, and was only allowed a completion percentage of 61.5%. He was targeted 91 times, gave up 56 grabs in his first season, and only 587 yards. He did take a step back, though, this past season, where he gave up 8 touchdowns compared to 4, 848 yards compared to 587 yards, and he had 4 interceptions and 17 pass breakups. James Bradberry is still a very good player for the Giants, but with the way their salary cap sits and how much of a relief it would be for them if they got rid of him, it's a move that I unfortunately think is going to happen. Right now, the Giants currently sit at about roughly -$6.5 million in salary cap space, and they have to create even more room because it's going to take approximately $12.5 million to just sign the rookie draft pick. So they're going to have to continue to create more cap space. Joe Schoen talked about how he wanted to create $40 million in cap space, and I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to have to make some tough decisions, and I think James Bradberry is going to be the first of that. And I think it's going to come pretty soon because March 18th, it's just a couple weeks away, and they're going to have to make that move because his contract becomes partially guaranteed on that date. And I don't think it's the worst case scenario because I don't think James Bradberry, who is mainly a zone corner, is going to fit that well in the Don Wink Martindale defense. He likes to play a physical style and brand of football where he likes the corners to press and play a lot of man coverage, and that's not really James Bradberry's style of game. So while they may be getting rid of one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, they get a large cap relief, and they're getting rid of a player, while he's still young, doesn't really fit into the new defensive identity. So I think it's a win-win if they get rid of him. But let me know what you think. Do you want the Giants to keep James Bradberry. He's a good player, arguably the best corner on this team. I think Adoree Jackson is really going to thrive in the Wink Martindale system, but I want to hear from you. Do you want the Giants to keep Bradberry? It's always hard to get rid of good players. If you want to keep him, go down and type Y for yes, or if you're ready to send him packing and clear up the cap space, go down and type N for no. I'm curious what all of you have to say, so get in the comment section and let me know. And when you're down there, while you're commenting, go hit that big red button, because it is the race to 10,000 subscribers between two channels here at Chat Sports, and that's Steelers Talk and that's Giants Now. They've got a leg up on us, and we're about 2.5 thousand subscribers down, but I know how proud Giants fans are, and we're scattered all over the world. So if you love the Giants and you're looking for a one-stop shop for Giants news and rumors on YouTube, or your channel, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. Go down right now, hit that big red button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs, and I need your help, so go down right now, hit that big red button. Sterling Shepard, reports came out that he was asked to take a pay cut. Shepard has been linked to being a cap cut candidate throughout the 2022 NFL offseason. He's been in and out of the lineup due to injuries throughout his NFL career, most recently coming off an Achilles tear. And Shepard was asked to take a pay cut from $8.4 million to the league minimum, which is $1 million. Right now, he has a cap hit of $12.49 million. So that's a good chunk of money for Sterling Shepard, a guy that hasn't played that much. I think he's only played 28 games in the past 3 seasons, so there's good reason why the Giants are trying to move off of him, and he's a smaller, shorter receiver that relies on his quickness to get separation, and coming off that Achilles injury, there are concerns to have about Shepard and the type of player he will be when he gets back from that injury. The total look at Sterling Shepard's cap breakdown and his contract situation is he has a $12.5 million cap hit and a dead cap hit if you cut him before June 1st of $7.9 million. But if you do cut him, you save $4.5 million. So you save a good amount of money, and the Giants, they don't just want to move on from him. He's the longest tenured player on this team, and he's a leader, and he is a part of the culture that the Giants have built the past couple of years. So you don't just want to get him out of the locker room. I think this could go towards a restructure, but I don't really think that Sterling Shepard is going to accept the league minimum. I think there's going to have to be some bargaining between Schoen and Shepard's representative. But what say you? Should the Giants cut Sterling Shepard? Is $4.5 million enough to save and get rid of Shepard, the longest tenured player on this roster, a leader, a captain, and a playmaker when he's on the field? If you think so, go down in the comments and type C for cut. Or if you're ready to keep him and you want him back in Giants blue, go down and type K for keep. When he plays, Sterling Shepard is one of the best slot receivers in the National Football League. The thing is, in the past 3 seasons, he's played 6 games. 12 games and 10 games. The prior year in 2018, he played 16 games, but that was only the second time in his 6-year career where he has played a full season. He hovers around the 60 reception mark every single time he plays a season. 3 TDs, 3 TDs, 4 TDs. But it's what he did in the earlier part of the season that makes me still believe that Sterling Shepard can be a great player. What he did against the Denver Broncos and in week 1 and week 2, he got off to a blazing start in the 2021 NFL season. He had 16 grabs in the first 2 games, 207 yards, and averaged 12.9 yards per catch and 1 touchdown. What he did in those first 2 games of the 2021 NFL season, if you want to, project that over a 17-game schedule, I understand things change, you don't get targeted as much. That would have been a season where he had 136 grabs for 1,700 yards and 8 receiving touchdowns. Sterling Shepard is a great slot receiver. He bleeds Giants blue. He's a part of the culture, and that's why I'd hate to see him go. Also because he's good friends with Daniel Jones. He's good friends with Saquon Barkley, and him and DJ have a strong connection. Every time it's a third down, Daniel Jones is looking in the vicinity of number 3 or number 87, formerly the number for Sterling Shepard. He's always looking for Shepard, and I'd hate to see him go. But if Sterling Shepard doesn't agree to a pay cut or a contract restructure, he is as good as gone. Joe Schoen has on his mind that he wants to clear $40 million in cap space, and Sterling Shepard is just a domino in that effect. If he doesn't agree to this contract restructure, it sucks, but his days as a New York Giant are most likely going to be over. And who knows, does Shepard think that he's worth more than $1 million on the open market? I think it's safe to say that he does. So it sucks. I'm a Giants fan. I love Sterling Shepard. I think his days with the Giants are over. So show him some love. Get down in the comments section and just spam the number 3. If you want to do 87 for the number he wore in his first 5 seasons with the Giants, that's fine. But show him some love. Spam 3, spam 87 to show Shep some love. And give me a follow on Twitter. Like I said at the top of the show, I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers, and I need all you Giants fans' help. And I said I'd follow the first 15 people back. But if you watch this late in the video, I'll do this for you if you're not in the first 15. Give me a follow and send me a DM letting me know it came from this video, and I promise you I'll give you a follow back at @MarshallGreen_.